guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be watching a video called the 10 best countries in Europe to live, to visit, to work around the world. So I think it's very, like, Europe, obviously it's huge. I think it's like over 40 countries, I want to say, but I have no idea. I think it's more, maybe it's closer to 50 actually. I don't know, but there's a lot of countries, and because again, it's a whole continent. I think we used to think of Europe as like a monolith, but I know that it isn't that isn't the case, and that obviously all the countries are very different between each other, although obviously there are some cultural things that are going to be the same because again, it's the same continent. But you know, when it comes to countries, you know, there's plenty of like where to choose from. We'll see. So let's check it out and comment, like, subscribe, and start.
Europe is the most popular destination for expatriates. The diverse culture and history, lively cities, beautiful countryside, great traditional and cutting-edge food, and ancestral links continue to attract people of all ages to travel, study, work, and live in Europe. Living in Europe has its pros and cons when it comes to healthcare expenses, taxes, and job opportunities. But luckily, there are as many as 44 different countries in the old continent. You can choose from depending on your budget, career goals, and language skills.
Oh, forget about the language.
Here are the 10 best countries to live and work in Europe. 10. Belgium. The Kingdom of Belgium is one of the founding members of the EU and home to its principal institutions, but also a center of various international organizations. This country may be tiny, but it is incredibly diverse and beautiful.
It is a
multilingual country with rolling countryside speaking French, German, and English. Schools in each region will speak the local language, and education is compulsory through age 18.
That's good.
The public education system is highly regarded, and there are quite a few options for a family just moving to the country. Parents are entitled to 17 weeks of leave for the birth of a child, with 11 days of paternal leave as fully paid and the rest at a partial salary.
That's actually not that long.
9. Spain.
Oh, yeah,
Spain is the best place to live and retire in Europe. With the country's incredible climate, leisurely work environments, and top-notch healthcare system. Spain's constitution states that the country has to offer emergency and basic care free of charge for everybody. In terms of the cost of living, Spain is one of the more affordable places to move to in Europe.
I don't know if
income and housing prices are stable, meaning living costs are not sky-high compared to the average income. Living well in Spain is possible with an average annual salary of $25,000. But you need to be aware of the high unemployment rate. Some of our friends are still jobless after months of searching, despite having university qualifications and plenty of work experience.
That's very true.
8. France. France is mostly known for its capital and main cultural and commercial center, Paris, as well as its Mediterranean coastline. This country is a great place to raise your family. It has plenty of opportunities for kids to have adventures.
Really?
National museums are free for anyone under the age of 18.
Oh my god, I love that!
The average cost of living in France is quite high and depends on a few different factors such as where you live in the country.
Yeah, that makes sense actually.
If you plan on moving to France, consider smaller towns in the south, which display beautiful architecture, stunning lavender fields, and a low cost of living here.
No, it's so beautiful, I can't.
7. Denmark. Denmark is one of the happiest countries in the world. There is a balance between work and family life, high education standards, and a thriving business climate. Schooling experiences are focused less on testing and more on raising a socially connected whole child.
Oh my god, I love that!
Unemployment is low, and there is little in the way of socio-economic divide.
Oh my god, everything sounds perfect.
Childcare is heavily subsidized by the government. Working hours tend to be shorter than most countries. Most companies have a flat working structure and are pretty informal and laid back.
Okay, so what are the downsides? Are they coming? Oh, they're not coming. Okay.
Finland. If you have opted for life in Finland, an exceptionally high living standard awaits you. Finland is an excellent place for your children to attend school. Finland's education system is highly regarded worldwide and open to expat children. Living in Finland, children have more time to play, The Finnish education system believes that life in Finland for children should be playful and relaxed.
Oh, that's good. So
There is no
kids
need
should be
to stress
kids.
them out at such a young age.
Makes sense.
People highly regard anyone working as a teacher, including the country itself, who ensures teachers get top-notch training and excellent pay.
Okay, so you
About
want to be a teacher
accommodation,
there.
you can easily buy a house in Finland. Most Finns own
it
their
cheap?
homes and there are no restrictions on foreigners buying property.
Oh my god, this is beautiful. What is that?
5. Sweden. Sweden is known as one of the safest countries in the world. It has high quality of life, plentiful
It looks very
jobs with
similar to
high
the one in
salaries, and
Finland.
that children you just had, you need not worry about paying for their education.
Right.
Education is completely free in public school. Everyday expenses fluctuate depending on where you live, but overall, the average cost of living in Sweden is high.
Oh, it's expensive.
Public transportation in Sweden is so efficient that many people may not feel the need to drive in Sweden. However,
with the bike
depending on your job, driving may make your life a bit easier and give you more
This is far
flexibility to move about as you please. 4. Portugal. Portugal is situated on the Iberian Peninsula, known for its mild climate, blue skies, and long beaches.
We're pretty as well.
People here are very friendly. Visitors will
Absolutely.
find a culture that is warm and welcoming upon arriving in Portugal. Moreover, Portugal is among the cheapest countries in Western Europe.
That's actually
The
true, I
cost
think.
of living is low. Rent and grocery prices
Yeah.
are much lower than in many other parts of the world, ensuring that you can enjoy a high
Look
standard
at those
of living
horses.
for not a whole lot of money. Portugal also offers free education to its residents for the mandatory school levels. 3. Republic of Ireland.
Oh,
Ireland is known for its love of food and drink, picturesque countryside,
beautiful,
and
yeah.
bustling
This is
cities.
gorgeous.
The average cost of living in Ireland is not cheap, but it is also not as expensive.
Oh, but this looks like a painting.
Because Ireland is a small island nation, many goods need to be imported into the country. This
Sure,
ups
it's
the
an
price
island.
of everyday necessities such as groceries and gas.
God, look at that.
Public
That's so
education in
stunning.
Ireland is free and of very high quality. Ireland is also a pretty safe place. Rates of gun violence are nearly non-existent,
Really?
and rates of violent crime overall are low here.
Didn't know that.
2. Switzerland.
Very expensive.
Switzerland is one of the safest countries in the world. The Swiss take pride in the best healthcare in the world and
They
magnificent
have the
natural
best
beauties.
healthcare?
The cities are clean and
This is
regulated,
stunning.
and people earn well, so the high cost of living is adequately compensated. The
Oh,
average
okay.
annual salary for expats in Switzerland is $200,000.
Doing what?
The education system here is among the best all over the world. The state school is free for all children, and there are also numerous options for private and international schools.
What would you want to go private?
Switzerland has a universal healthcare system, and insurance providers are non-profit, ensuring their policies are affordable.
Love that.
1. Norway.
Oh, what's Norway?
Norway boasts the highest concentration of fjords in the world, along with masses of forests. So if you love the outdoors, it is a great place to be.
Okay, this is gorgeous.
Norwegians has a high life expectancy, an excellent healthcare system, and a quality
What is that
education.
place? Looks crazy.
Norway is also one of the safest countries in the world, with low crime rates even in major cities.
Oh my god, this is
The country
incredible.
has other job opportunities too, particularly in IT, telecoms, engineering, and transport. There's stiff competition because of Norway's outstanding education system, which produces highly
Is that
skilled
like a
workers.
beach? What is that? Okay, so it was a little like I was expecting. It was funny because it was literally what I was expecting. A lot of Mediterranean countries, because they obviously have like pretty nice weather and they're very beautiful. And I think it's cheaper to live in those places, although I don't know. But it's, and obviously like the northern ones, because you know it's like they have a good quality of life. but although they say like some things are really are kind of like I will have to like think on this. They said like Spain, it's very affordable, and like housing is super affordable, which I don't think it's that true. Maybe it was at some point, but I guess like just ask any Spaniard or people living in Spain, if especially like in the big cities, if if it's affordable, and they'll tell you no. And the housing crisis, like it's a problem. It's a pretty big problem in places like Madrid or Barcelona. So it's, it's like, well, maybe. I think it depends. That's really open for discussion. But for instance, I think Portugal, it is. I've heard that it's a pretty affordable country, and people, yeah, they are very friendly, and it's very beautiful. I think so. It's like, well, if I had to, I don't know, Portugal seems like a wonderful choice. But it's funny because I was thinking, well, Switzerland, like, yes, they have incredible things, incredible healthcare, and they have good education, and they have like so many good things. But it's funny because it's like, I'm thinking, oh my God, it's so expensive. And he was like, no, it's like if you work there, it's gonna be high, but the cost of living is high, but you earn enough to actually like live well, which good to know. So it's like, maybe it's expensive if you're a tourist. Like if you're just a visitor, like maybe it's gonna be like super expensive, obviously, because you're not earning in, I don't know, whatever francs, euros, I don't know what they use in Switzerland. So it's like, yeah, well, because I'm not earning in that currency. So of course everything's going to be very expensive. But no, if you work there, apparently, according to this video, it's gonna be enough. So it's a great choice. Also, I love Ireland. Ireland, it's so like, it's also a beautiful country. Although he said, well, it's because it's an island, like things are gonna get, some things are gonna get, it's maybe the cost is higher because again, everything has to be brought into the country. But I'm wondering, well, don't they just make their own things? I guess, that would be the perfect solution, right? Although I'm thinking it like so easy, just like as if they never thought of this before. But I'm thinking maybe they do that, right? To like lower the costs. I have no idea, actually. I don't know how it works. But Ireland, it's also very beautiful. But I think it's funny that they did three. I think more. It was three. I think the last three places, or close to three. I think mostly it was all the Mediterranean. And it's just Portugal, Spain, and France, and like the southern of France, because he was like, well, Paris it's incredibly expensive. So maybe like, no, maybe like go to the south. It's very beautiful. You're gonna love it. It's gonna be cheaper, which, great tip. Thank you. But it's funny that almost all of the northern countries were in this list. Norway, Finland, and Sweden, and Denmark. So it's like, I think they have all of them. So it's like, well, technically, like the best countries to visit and to live in Europe, well, more like live, because obviously you can visit anywhere. It's like, you're not going to live there. So it's like, I can visit everything. But it's like, if you want to live there, maybe just go to those northern countries. Which is funny because obviously like they have like a pretty good quality of life again. But the weather, something he fails to mention. It's like, I think the weather can be quite hard, especially obviously the winters, and that's like probably, I think the point is that winters are like 8 or 9 months a year. So it's not like you have a winter that's just like, well, whatever, it's just like 2 or 3 months, like it's just like it's a season. I think in those countries it's like, no, it's all year round. So it's not you're not gonna get any sunlight in like for like 9 months throughout the year. So it's like, well, it's a balance, right? You're apparently like you live pretty well, and apparently they're very happy. But the weather I think really is a really important. You need to make like educated choices in depending on like the weather, because I do think that it's quite different, especially if you've never lived there, and if you never lived in a place like that. I think it can get maybe a little isolating, and maybe expats have a harder time adjusting to a place like that, because again, they're not used to. Maybe you're thinking, well, yeah, I know harsh winters. Yeah, yeah, but you don't know. Like, I think this type of winter, when you're like so far above, like in the planet, like you're so above that it's just like it's very icy, and you get like the winters are, I think, very different from the winters that you get like a little southern. So it's like, I don't know. I do think that maybe for expats it's gonna be, maybe, I don't know if it is, maybe they can get used to it like pretty quickly, but I would think that maybe for expats it's a little harder to sort of like adjust to that sort of climate, because again, if you don't see the sunlight for over like 6 months, it's super cloudy. Of course, you're going to get like a vitamin D deficiency, and you're going to get depressed, which I think it's a real thing also. in those countries. So it's like, well, again, everything's a balance, right? You're sacrificing that, but you're actually like pretty happy and you earn very well. So it's like, well, it's, again, you have to make educated choices. But I think that's why the perfect I think probably situation is just like travel. You can just travel all over Europe, and then maybe like see what you like the best, and maybe if you want to like stay there. But this is a very enjoyable video. Hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I did, and I'll see you next time. Bye.